Hi everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I have another process video for you today. This is actually a project lifestyle. It is the second part of my October 2013 album. It took me about an hour and 4 minutes to complete. I always have my photos already printed and I know what photos are going to go on which page, so it didn't take me very long to just get the basis of this layout set up. So these photos are actually from trick-or-treating as well as a Halloween party at Kaylin's preschool. I have other photos from October on other layouts, but that's what this one just focuses on. His preschool party and then also trick-or-treating that night for Halloween. So he was a pirate, and this was the first year that I actually made his costume. So I was really proud about it, and he was really comfortable in it because it was something he could move around in. It was just a vest. He had a little bandana around his hair, which I loved because his hair just kind of flopped over it. He had a belt, he had a sword, he had a hook, and he had like handcuffs. Oh, and he also had some money, like some gold coins that were in a little pouch, but it was just a little too heavy for his belt, so we took those off. But anyways, sorry, I have my hair down, so you keep seeing it kind of swing into focus. I apologize for that. But I'm just working on the cards here. I have my 4x6 cards, like I always do, with the white border around them. And then I have the 3x4 cards will be in the middle. I always use design A for my month pages, and then sometimes I mix other designs in throughout the month. So I'm just kind of adding a couple things here. I've got a lot of paper already set out. I am using blacks and grays, whites, greens, yellows, and oranges. Just kind of traditional Halloween colors. And I like the green. It added a little bit of a different look to it. I'm going to use this little green banner here to add the kind of like a subtitle onto this photo, and I'm using some washi tape as well. It's just black washi tape that has kind of looks like a chalkboard in a sense, and it has the letters or the numbers 0 through 9 on there. So I'm just going to put preschool buddies on this one. It takes me a while to get them lined up. You would think for me that tile letters would work really easily and I could line them up, but I always end up staggering them, which is not a bad thing. It just drives me nuts sometimes because I try to make them all nice and neat and straight, and they just don't work out. These are his little buddies at school. They're actually a set of triplets, and they are his buddies. They're not in his class this year, so he was kind of disappointed, but last year they hung out. They were inseparable. He was basically like their brother as well, so they basically hung out, just the four of them. And there, of course, are other kids in his class that hang out with them as well, but it was just really funny because the four of them really clung together. All right, so I'm going to put that right here on the bottom. And it also kind of takes up a little bit of the blank space in the photo. And then I have this other photo. It was a 3x4 card that I was thinking about putting in the middle, and I just wasn't sure. So I actually cut out cut out Kaylin out of the picture. There's other kids in the background on that photo, but I cut him out, and then I mounted it on some white cardstock, and it's not going to make it on this bottom photo. It will make it on a 3x4 card, but it doesn't make it quite on this bottom photo that I originally thought. I'm going to take a couple of the words off of this Authentique Halloween set. It's got 2 tile alphas as well as some black words, word stickers, and so I put happy kids together is what I put. And then I'm going to use some enamel dots. I'm going to use red and green. It's kind of an orangey red and green. I'm trying to use up the small packs of different things that I have. And what I do for my Halloween and Christmas specifically, I don't really have a lot of other real themey embellishments, but I always have Halloween and Christmas. I just love Halloween and Christmas, so I pick up different themed things when I find them. So I keep them all together. So like in this little binder clip I have, well, it's not a binder clip. I don't know what you call those things. It's like a ring thing. Whatever. I have all of the sticker sheets and stuff stuck on here or clipped on here so they stay together. So when I'm doing October photos, I always just pull it out, and otherwise throughout the year it just stays in my stash, and I can always add things as I get them. So I used some stars, and then I used that witching hour label, and then I used this little like gremlin looking thing with a googly eye at the bottom. And then I used a spider web sticker in the corner. So I took another one of these word stickers and I cut it in half, and it says, "Caution, beware of candy overload." So that finishes the bottom 2 cards here. We're going to move on up, and so I still have that little photo right there. It's kind of a profile picture, but it's really, it's a good picture to see Kaylin's hair over the bandana. So I am going to start working on this October card. And this is not my title card, but I liked the card itself. So I'm going to put a background onto the white card that matches it. It's just an orange and white chevron. I'm going to round the corners on this card. And then I'm going to use this little candy corn. It's just a chipboard piece of candy corn that I had sitting around. It was probably it's probably like 5 or 6 years old. So I have no idea where it's from, but I just thought it was a good little embellishment to add. I have the bottom strip off of a piece of paper that I had cut earlier that I'm going to put kind of to ground this card so it's not just floating. And then I'm going to pull out a little like vampire sticker that I think is so cute. I look at a couple different things to see what I can make work, and I end up using the little boy vampire right there in the corner. But before I do that, I'm going to add some stickers. And so what it says is October, and then it says, "For Halloween, we dressed up as," and then I'm going to say, I'm trying different stickers, and then I realize I don't have all the right letters. So I'm going to put on the second part where it says our favorite fall activities are fair and fun, because we always go to the fair, the state fair, every October, and then we always have a lot of family fun activities planned. So it just says fair and fun. And then I'm going to put back up at the top in these Tim Holtz alpha stickers, I'm going to put a little pirate. I'm going to have to get another set of these alphas. I still have plenty left, but I'm like out of S's now, I believe, and I'm out of T's, I believe, after this one. So I'm going to have to get another set. I have tons of other letters, but I don't have I think it's S's and T's that I'm out of. So you can see like on that last page how they're all blank right there in that one corner. And I just used my whole arm to stick all these stickers on while I was getting them off, so I didn't have to keep going back and forth to the little sticker book. And Kaylin's downstairs playing. I'm not sure if y'all can hear him. I think he's flying a airplane around. But if you hear him, that's what he's doing. He's just playing downstairs while I do this video recording. Sometimes I try to make sure it's really quiet in the background, and sometimes it works. But now that it's summer and he's not in school anymore, he's at home all the time with me. So there's not really a lot of time that's quiet around here. So I'm taking what opportunity I can after breakfast this morning to do this voiceover while he plays downstairs. So moving on to this next card, I'm going to take that green pattern paper, and that's the same one I made the banner on the bottom card with his preschool buddies. I just wanted to tie some of that green up here as well. And I'm just mounting these 2 photos. They were cut at 3x4, I believe, or slightly like 2.75 by 3.75 or something like that. But I'm going to cut them a little bit smaller so you can still see the background, because there was a lot of just empty space. And these are some iPhone photos. They're not a very good quality because it was dark at night. This is when he was actually trick-or-treating. And this I think was my iPhone 4, so the camera is nowhere near as good as what it is now. So the pictures are kind of blurry, so that's why they're in a 3x4. I didn't want to print them as a 4x6 because you really would not be able to make it out very well. What you see glowing in that right photo that I'm messing with right now is on the boys. We were trick-or-treating with some friends, and on their pumpkins we put some glow sticks. That way we could easily spot them just in case they, ran ahead with a group of other kids or something like that. And I'm just double mounting these pictures. I have them mounted on black first, and then I have them mounted on different colors. The right photo is mounted on an orange, and then the left photo is going to be mounted on a purple piece of paper. And these are just scraps that I've had in my Halloween set. So I'm going to mount it right there on that purple like cut apart sheet. And these are really thin pieces of paper, these cut apart sheets are, so I'm kind of using them up. I'll keep them, of course, but I'm trying to use them up a little bit too, just so, they're not the best quality, but I do like the the colors and things like that. So I'm going to pull out my stickers here in just a second, and I'm going to look and see what else I can add. Those are some Pebble stickers, I believe. I have 2 sticker sheets of those, and I really like those. They're really cute. Especially the little like vampire guy and the little witch girl. I think it's just so cute. So this says trick or treat. And then I'm going to add a few. I was looking at these like puffy stickers because they have these little swirly things, but I end up not liking the way that looks. So I'm going to take it off here in a moment and add some enamel dots instead. This is where I decided I just don't like the way that looks. So I pull out these enamel dots again, trying to use up the last little bit of them. I'm almost done with them. And I was going to put the red on one side and the green on the other, and then I realized I only have these 2 giant red ones, so I'm going to mix them up just a little bit. Sorry, y'all can really hear him now. I think he's acting like he's a fireman because he keeps going, fire hose! Running around downstairs. My office is up in the loft, so I don't really have a door I can shut, nor do I really want to have a door I can shut. I like being able to hear what's going on around the house while I'm scrapbooking, you know, just in case the buzzer's going off on the oven or something like that. I like being able to hear, as well as, you know, I could just kind of glance over the loft at any time and see what he's doing downstairs. His bedroom's upstairs, but he plays downstairs a lot too. So now I've moved on to the 3x4 cards. I've got a couple different patterns that I've pulled out here. I have a white and yellow polka dot, and that's actually the back of a different card. I think it was part of a Me and My Big Ideas card set. And so I'm going to back that on this black paper here, just to add a little bit more definition to it. I felt like the yellow and white polka dot was getting a bit lost. So I'm just using up a little bit more of these black scraps that I have. I don't really care that it has the border on it. You can't really tell once this other card's mounted on it. And then I just don't want to waste paper too. As much paper as I have, I can't stand wasting it. So yeah, I have scraps everywhere. And I've really tried to make a conscious effort this spring to use up some of that since I've kind of put myself on a spending freeze. I'm not purchasing anything. I haven't been purchasing anything for a really long time, except for small things here and there. I would say, you know, I did a haul earlier this year and I have a few things that I've set aside, but I would say on each haul I've spent less than $20 total. And I mean, that really to me is not really spending money. I mean, it is money obviously, but it's not like I went out and I did a huge order and spent $150 and then went to Michael's and spent another $40. No, I'm spending like $15, $20 total on a whole pile of stuff, and it's just stuff that I'm picking up here and there. And I like repurposing things as well, like packaging or, you know, using different memorabilia in my scrapbooks. Like, you'll see I have a video in a couple days probably coming up where I did an insert in the October section and I use like a pin from the state fair and stuff like that. So I'm really trying not to expand my scrapbook stash any. I'm really just trying to use up. I'm lucky enough to have a good space to scrapbook. I have a lot of storage space, and so I just want to make sure though that I'm not overindulging myself, though I would love to, but I'm really trying not to. So I'm going to use this green and like creamish, whitish, it's kind of cream, striped paper for the middle 2 sections. And this is where I'm going to use that small photo. I'm going to do a bit of journaling as well, but I'm going to print that on the computer. And then I'm going to use some stickers and some stamps to finish up these photos, or these cards rather. This is where I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do my journaling on. Typically, I like to do journaling on graph paper, but since I'm going to print it, I don't need the lines on there. So I'm going to use, instead, I'm going to use some white cardstock to journal on. And I can read you the journaling while you're watching here. It says, our first year actually going trick-or-treating. Kaylin was a bit confused and hesitant at first, but it didn't take long for him to get the hang of it. We spent the first part of the evening eating dinner with friends. Then we went around their neighborhood. The boys had glow sticks on their pumpkin buckets, which glowed as they ran from house to house. He's so little that he needs help up and down the big steps. All was well until one scary house had a monster that opened the door. Kalen was done. No more trick-or-treating for him. But he had fun walking around looking at all the decorations and other kids in costume. What a fun day. And then the second card, the one that you see with the photo on it, will say at the top, Kalen's first Halloween trick-or-treating, and he got tired early, wanting to stop and wait at the bottom of the steps, eating his candy while his friend continued going up to more doors. And so I'm going to cut these little pieces of candy that I stamped. I had previously stamped it, so when I went to pull out the stamp set, these fell out of the back, where I guess I had used them on last year, or on 2020. Oh no, I already did 2000. Okay, so I already did 2014's Halloween photos, so that's where these stamped images came from. I had already done them. And the photos that you're seeing me scrapbook right now are 2013, so I'm actually backtracking a little bit. I am masking off a bit of this stamp, and then I'm going to stamp it, and it says My Little Pumpkin. And what I masked off was the 4, because it says For My Little Pumpkin. And my photo just kind of nestles right in there, and then I'm going to put these little pieces of candy around it. Alright, and I can't remember if I actually put the journaling on while I'm still on camera. If I don't, you'll see it in the still photos at the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I have plenty more videos. I have enough photos printed and pages ready. Well, not done, but enough photos printed to do 21 pages. I actually laid all the photos out the other day as I was organizing them. So I'm probably going to have to start posting at least 3 layouts a week just to be able to try to get these photos done by the end of July, because that's a lot of photos to scrapbook. And I don't want to continue to get behind in my scrapbooking, so I'm going to have to kind of step up my game here. So yes, please subscribe so you can see those as I post them, and leave any comments for any questions you have, or suggestions, or input that you may have. And I just realized I do come back after I add the journaling. So here's what it looks like once the journaling is actually printed. I'm going to take these little pieces of candy and go ahead and arrange them around the photo here to finish up this card. And I had just stamped them in yellow, purple, and green. And again, these are ones that were stamped last year. I just went ahead and trimmed them out this year. So I'm going to put that little yellow one at the bottom, and then layer the purple and the green one, and then I'll cut off the little excess that's hanging down. Alright, and then I'm going to pull out these pebble stickers again. I was debating on rounding the corners of the journaling, but I end up leaving them squared, and I'm going to add some stickers around the outside. I'm going to pull out this little trick-or-treat bag first to add in that corner of that photo, and then I'm going to pull out a couple other stickers. I'm going to use up the bat here up in the corner, and you can't really see these unless you're looking for them, but I didn't want to cover up the journaling so they get tucked up under it. I'm going to add this little potion bottle at the bottom, again just to add a little bit of interest right there. I'll trim off the corner, and then I'm going to add those little cut off pieces I had of the spider web that I used on that bottom right card. I try to use up anything I can and not waste, as I mentioned. And this finishes up the spread here. Keep an eye at the end. I'm going to have those still photos for you. And again, like and subscribe if you will, please. Thanks, guys. Bye.